Hello, I'm Jane Dutton with a wrap of the week's news.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
The order of the majority judgment reads as follows. The appeal is dismissed with costs, including the cost of 2 counsel, where so employed.
And with that, disgraced Dr. Nandipa Magudumana's bid to have her arrest declared unlawful has been dismissed with costs by the Supreme Court in Bloemfontein. Magadumana was apprehended in Tanzania in 2023 while on the run with her lover and accomplice, convicted murderer Thabo Bester. She's accused of helping Bester escape from the Mangaung prison where he was serving a life sentence. Magadumana argued that police abducted her from Tanzania in a disguised extradition which was unlawful, but police say she consented to her return to South Africa as she wanted to return to her children. Magadumana will remain behind bars ahead of the start of her trial with her accomplice, Thabo Bester, and others. Families and colleagues of missing journalist Aseri Ndlovu and Zodwa Mdluli believe that powerful and well-resourced individuals perpetrated the crimes against them. They shared their views outside the KwaMashlanga Magistrates Court, where 2 newly arrested suspects were remanded in custody after their matter was postponed. The deceased's home in Mpumalanga was also found to have been ransacked as items including furniture and appliances were stolen. 3 of the suspects arrested are charged with possession of stolen property in this matter.
But also to restrain people for such a long period until the time when you take them far away and you eventually have them killed in the way that the police are telling us. It shows that you would have needed some power and some resources to be able to do this.
South Africa's Afrikaner refugees have been in their new home of the brave and free for 5 days now. 49 of them landed in the US on Monday. This topic will be high on the agenda when President Cyril Ramaphosa and US President Donald Trump meet next Wednesday in the White House. Ramaphosa has called the departure from South Africa a cowardly act.
The president made it clear that Afrikaners in South Africa who were the victims of unjust racial discrimination would be welcome to come to the United States, and he's now delivering on that promise. Many of these folks have experience with threatening invasions of their homes, their farms, and a real lack of interest or success of the government in doing anything about this situation. And these people have been living under a shadow of violence and terror for some time now.
Back at the White House, the 2 presidents will also be talking about G20. Trump says he won't be traveling to South Africa to attend the G20 Leaders Summit in November if the country doesn't fix what he believes is a genocide of white Afrikaners. The US is due to take over the presidency of the group of 20 nations from South Africa at the end of the year, but Trump's cabinet has been boycotting meetings in response to Trump claiming, quote, bad things are happening in the country.
Now, South Africa leadership is coming to see me, I understand, sometime next week. And, we're supposed to have a G20 meeting there or something. But we're having a G20 meeting. I don't know how we can go unless that situation's taken care of.
The South African Human Rights Commission confirms that it has settled public complaints submitted against former Democratic Alliance Member of Parliament, Ronaldo Gouws. This follows the emergence of a video in 2024 of Gouws saying racially offensive and harmful language directed to black South Africans. Earlier this week, Gouws released a public apology where he expressed that he understood that his 2010 video contained racial slurs which have been declared unutterable and racist by the Constitutional Court.
The Commission welcomed Mr. Gouws' acknowledgement of the impact of his past conduct and reiterates that the right to freedom of expression must be exercised in a manner that respects equality and dignity for all people.
Nigerian pastor Timothy Omotoso will not be deported. He was released after appearing in the East London Magistrates Court on Tuesday. Omotoso was arrested in immigration-related charges over the weekend. But the National Director of Public Prosecutions, Shamila Batoy, believes there's a reasonable prospect of success to appeal the verdict in Omotoso's sex crimes trial. 2 legal teams have combed through the records to determine where there may have been errors of law in letting the Nigerian televangelist off the hook after a 7-year trial. The state can only appeal a judgment on errors of law and not fact. Batoy says the NPA's decision to appeal is informed by an opinion from senior advocates from the Bisho Bar, as well as another by senior NPA advocates.
Even though Section 319 of the Criminal Procedure Act does not prescribe a time frame for filing of such papers, we undertake to file the application within a reasonable period to avoid any undue delays in this matter.
Thousands of South Africans will be taking their cars to the garage. The National Consumer Commission has recalled 10 models due to engineering defects that may pose a danger to the driver.
In some instances, the concerns as raised by the manufacturer or supplier may actually increase the risk of an accident in case of Mercedes-Benz S-Class, for example. And of course, in some instances, the leak of brake fluid loss in the case of a Mercedes-Benz AG. So we really want to reiterate our messages to say, do hit the call. Your safety comes first.
In the US, the sex trafficking trial of hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been peppered with harrowing details of how he allegedly beat his ex-girlfriend, all of which he has denied. The 3-time Grammy Award winner is charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. They're dancing in Europe, and we're dancing here too, ahead of the Eurovision final tomorrow night. Dancers will ignite the streets of Johannesburg tonight. It's all in celebration of International Dance Day 2025. Mjivo Jiva is one-of-a-kind city showcase with more than 1,000 participants dancing through the heart of the inner city along part of the Walkable Network, a pedestrian-friendly spine connecting people, places, and public art. Hope you have a very good weekend. See you again on Monday.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.